script or JavaScript, although the vast majority of people would use VB script. Anyhow, despite all the shortcomings that ASP has, and especially compared to today, you wouldn't want to use ASP today, it's very old school. It was light years ahead of Perl in many respects. So I got the gig, I got the contract, and indeed I was able to rebuild their thing from scratch using ASP, and I got it done in 30 days and it worked fine. And it's not a testament to me being a great coder. I'm okay, I know my stuff, but I'm not some genius coder or anything. It's just, here's the first rule to take away. It's just that certain languages are far more productive in certain circumstances. And in this case, Perl, because it wasn't designed from the get-go to be a dynamic web language, it was sort of tacked on afterwards. You saw that you saw those, this continuity, if you will, within the language. That's why it wasn't so efficient at writing code compared to a pure web programming dedicated environment like ASP. So anyway, so I produced the language, I produced the product with ASP and everything was fine. Now here is where this story gets really ridiculous. So a few months later, I get a call from the client, and he says, and they asked me if I would see their lawyer because they were being sued now by the previous contractor, the previous company rather, who had built the software using Perl. And they were being sued for breach of contract, and they were basically accusing me and my clients, and by extension me, of basically reusing their code and stealing and putting in a new project. And it was totally ridiculous, of course, because I wrote the thing in a totally different language. And I couldn't make heads or tails what they were doing in Perl anyway. It was a mess. Anyway, so they called me in to see the lawyer, and and this was not a small company. This company had it wasn't a huge company, but they had many other companies under it, so they had their own lawyers and everything. So I went in to see the lawyers. They wanted to take my statements and so on. So they wanted me to testify in court to say this software is not the same software. It's totally different. I wrote the software. And so they're taking down my information. They say, okay, where'd you go to school? And I mentioned my university, and they say, okay, what degree did you get? Well, I said, well, I never graduated. They go, oh, you never graduated? Well, what were you studying? I said, computer engineering, comp sci, computer science. I go, no, it was psychology. And they went, whoa, we got a problem here. I go, what do you mean? He says, well, we can't put you on the stand as an expert witness because you're not technically an expert. They go, well, I wrote the software. They go, yeah, but you have to have a technical degree to be an expert. That's just the way the system works. It doesn't matter that you built it. You're not an expert because you don't have the degree. So that's the ridiculous aspect of the story. Though I had been programming for years, self-taught all these languages, do all kinds of things, in the court of law in Canada, that's where I am is in Canada, because I didn't have the technical degree, I couldn't be acknowledged as an expert. So in that respect, Steve Jobs, who doesn't have a technical degree, Bill Gates, who doesn't have a university degree, they would not be considered experts. They couldn't testify because, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a degree. And the big irony to all this is that, in fact, many times people come out of school, comp sci, computer science, or engineering, computer engineering degrees, there we go,